This is the battlefield I've been waiting for. Last month's Battlefield 6 beta was good fun, but it was missing the open scale warfare that I come for Battlefield. But now I've played it, and I am so excited for Battlefield 6. I got to mess with the classes, I got to learn the new movement mechanics, and I got to engage in a lot of close quarters combat. But where were the large maps? Where was the fleet of tanks? Where were the jets screeching in my ears as they whizzed by? And where were those helicopters being annoying as Well, guess what? EA invited me to a digital preview where I got 4 hours of hands-on time with 2 of Battlefield 6's large-scale maps, the thing I have been waiting for. I got to check out Mir Valley and the Return of the King, Operation Firestorm. We got to check out these 2 maps on 3 different modes: Conquest, Breakthrough, and Escalation, which is the brand new mode for Battlefield 6. And this right here, this is the Battlefield that I personally have been waiting for. I had a great time with it, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Oh yeah, let's roll that helicopter clip again. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So here are my 3 major takeaways from my time with Battlefield 6. Number 1, Operation Firestorm. I missed you, buddy. Operation Firestorm is a pretty legendary map for Battlefield, and while I can't tell you if it's like a one-to-one recreation of the original map, the vibes were there. Pretty much spent the entire time in a tank, shooting dudes, shooting helicopters, blowing through buildings, and it was exactly everything I've been wanting. My second takeaway is the new map, Mir Valley, also seems quite excellent. This is the other large-scale map that we got to check out, and compared to Operation Firestorm, which is very vehicle-centered, this is a much rounder balance of vehicles and infantry, and I think for players who want that experience, this map is going to satisfy that. I liked it a lot better than the maps that I got to check out in the previous beta. I found that there was kind of more terrain that was easier to hide in as an infantry, so it didn't feel like you were just immediately getting sniped or picked off. Felt like it was appealing to every single role in Battlefield, so very satisfied with that. And my third takeaway, Battlefield 6's new mode Escalation seems pretty neat, but I do need to spend a little more time with it before making a final judgment. That's because I only got to play it once, but I like what it's doing. Essentially, it starts out like a game of Conquest, but as the match goes on, it removes different objective points, and so it kind of forces the players to get tighter and tighter and tighter, escalating the match. I think it brings a sense of pacing to a match that Conquest lacks, and so I was pretty pleased with that one match that I got to play. Okay, so let's get into it. The big thing that we got to spend our time with was Operation Firestorm, and boy, just like the vibes, they're there. It was like I was back in Battlefield of old. It was a good time. Me and my buddy Ben Janca, we got into a tank and we did not leave that tank. It was glorious. We were running over people, we were shooting helicopters, we were blowing through buildings. It was a fantastic time. If you're not familiar with Operation Firestorm, it is a very vehicle-focused map. You can infantry, there's some good sniping spots and some other things. You gotta hop out at some point, but this is for the people that like the vehicles, that like the tanks, that like the jets, that like the helicopters. If you want to know about the jets and the helicopters, I can't tell you that because I am at driving them. Roll the clip. So no, I can't fly a helicopter, but we can shoot them down, so we did a lot of that instead. I really don't have anything negative to say about Operation Firestorm with the time I played with it. It's exactly what I wanted from Battlefield. As somebody who enjoys the infantry element of Battlefield enough, but really the thing I come to Battlefield for is that vehicle warfare. It's what makes Battlefield Battlefield to me. And Operation Firestorm sort of representing that, like this is exactly what I wanted. and it was a great time. So if you're like me and you like the vehicle aspect, I think you're gonna be very satisfied. And if you don't like the vehicle stuff, you might be more like this guy in the chat. The other map I gotta check out was Mir Valley. This is a brand new map. So a criticism with a couple of the maps in the previous beta was that they didn't feel large enough. They feel like they didn't capture the large-scale vehicle warfare the way they needed, but at the same time, they also weren't necessarily the most fun for infantry because there weren't really a lot of good hiding spots. It was easy to get like picked off by snipers. The little bit that I played with Mirak Valley feels like it kind of fixed all of those problems. There's a lot greater emphasis on vehicles. You have the jets, you have the helicopters, you have the tanks, but also as an infantry person, I found myself easily able to hide, to kind of crawl around in areas, to still survive and not feel like I was just gonna get immediately shot by a sniper, even though, you know, that's still gonna happen quite a bit, obviously. So my conclusion with these two maps is I feel like these kind of are slotting in the missing pieces that Battlefield 6 kind of needs to sort of round out its entire experience. You know, we have the maps from the previous betas that kind of represented that infantry warfare, your city stuff, your kind of close quarters. We have the other end of the extreme, like Operation Firestorm, where you have all these vehicles and it's just like pure chaos. And then you have Mirak Valley, which I think represents a really good in-between balance, where it's trying to kind of fulfill all of those roles in one map and doing a pretty solid job at it. So thumbs up from me from both of these maps with what I played. So when it comes to modes, we got to check out Conquest, which is, you know, it's Conquest. I think we all kind of know what it is. We got to check out Breakthrough, which is a returning mode from previous Battlefields that was not in the beta. For those of you not familiar, the way Break works is you basically have a defending team and you have an attacking team. The attacking team has a limited number of tickets, and each time they take objective points, they then get more tickets, and their goal is to kind of get all the way to the end and completely dominate the map. The defending team has unlimited tickets, but they have to try and eliminate the other team's tickets completely before they get wiped. Breakpoint's good fun. Got to play with it a lot more on Mirak Valley. I like that map in particular for Breakthrough. I think it has a really good like sense of pacing with the way that kind of map is like broken up into like little different chunks, you know? So you have this like big construction site in the middle, and then you kind of have these trenches, and then you get into like these buildings. There was a good sense of pacing to the match, and I quite enjoyed that. The other mode we got to check out was Escalation, which is the brand new mode for Battlefield 6. So the way Escalation works is when you first start it up, it plays like a normal round of Conquest, where you have all your different objective points and you need to go capture them. As you capture points, you are filling up a meter at the top. Once your meter is full, you earn 1 point, and then the meter's reset. And the goal is to earn 3 points to win the match. The trick is that every time a team earns a point, they eliminate some of the objectives. So what you're fighting over gets smaller and smaller each time. Essentially, it escalates the match by kind of forcing the players into these tighter and tighter areas by like focusing in on just a fewer objectives. I really liked the way this felt. The thing with Conquest is that Conquest is a lot of fun, but it can be a little messy and chaotic. And I would say the way the match starts and the way the match ends feels pretty similar throughout. Escalation adds a sense of like pacing and, you know, escalation to the match by like starting off a little bit more kind of open-ended and you can kind of go wherever you want, and then it's like, okay, we need to really hunker in and focus in, and by the end, like everyone's just like on each other's asses, and it's awesome. I only got to play one match, so I do want to spend a lot more time with it before I make a definitive judgment on the mode and see if there's anything about it that I'm not really digging, but based on that one match, I liked what it was doing. I think it gives a greater sense of focus than something like a Conquest, and I can see that being a lot of fun, especially when you're playing with a group of buddies. So that was my time with Battlefield 6. Overall, I came away having just a ton of fun. Where I enjoyed the previous beta Like I said before, it was giving me the part of Battlefield that I like but don't love. This gave me the part of Battlefield that I truly love and come to Battlefield for. So for anyone who played that beta and was a little nervous or just like, is this still gonna be able to capture that part of Battlefield? Don't worry, it's there, it's awesome. Roll the tank clip one more time. Shout out to Ben, that's all him.